Hello, my dear friend. Let me speak plainly to you for a moment. There are eyes on you right now, curious, unsettled, trying to make sense of what they see. They rewind your past in their heads, piece together the milestones and the habits, and still something about you refuses to add up. That's because what they're staring at isn't merely a skill, a style, or a carefully curated persona. It's something far older and deeper. A rare, innate gift that was placed inside you before time began to count its days. What unsettles them most is simple and unavoidable. This gift cannot be copied. People can imitate your mannerisms, echo your phrases, mimic your look, and practice the cadence of your voice. They can dress like you, study your moves, try to catch your beat. But imitation only reaches surface level. It can reproduce the shape of your expression, but never the origin of it. The source of your power is not learned. It is breathed into you by a life force that doesn't answer to imitation or trend. That realization intimidates those who watch, because it confirms a truth they would rather avoid. No matter how hard they study you, they will never be you. Your gift is not an accident. It is evidence that the heavens noticed a need on the earth and entrusted you with the answer. When you enter a room bearing that kind of assignment, something subtle shifts in the atmosphere. Insecure hearts twitch not because you asked attention of them, but because your presence holds up a mirror they weren't prepared to see. Your existence reflects choices back at people, choices they may have shelved, avoided, or refused to name, and that reflection can be unbearable. Some gifts are like candles, comforting and steady, inviting people to gather close. Yours is thunder and light. It does not merely illuminate a corner. It splits the sky and shows the landscape in a new scale. It reveals what has been lurking in the shadow, appends small comforts, and leaves an imprint on everything it touches. That's why people look at you with a mixture of admiration and unease. They're drawn and alarmed at the same time, fascinated by the brightness and unsettled by what it uncovers. You may already recognize this pattern. Those who once felt safe next to you step back. Friends who laughed with you in private rooms grow distant. Strangers give you a second look that feels like a question. Who are you? Really? What they're sensing is not simply your outward expression. It's the moment your inner authority begins to speak louder than your sentences. Your life announces you before you form a word, and that announcement triggers something in other people. For some, it awakens longing. For many, it reawakens pain. For a few, it triggers envy. Do not take that envy as a personal indictment. Envy is a kind of proof that what you carry refuses to be ignored. It is a mirror people did not ask for, an involuntary inventory of where they have chosen convenience over courage, performance over faith. Faced with that mirror, many will invent stories to protect their fragile self-image. Better to believe you had shortcuts, secret favors, or unfair advantages than to accept that God or fate put within you something they cannot manufacture. It is easier to attribute your rise to luck than to confront the truth, that there was something consecrated inside you long before you learned how to use it. Here's the remarkable thing: your gift has always been there. It was not born in the spotlight. It was revealed by pressure. Fire refines metal, and trials refine the edge of your calling. When heat came, instead of cracking you, it honed you. What others see now as sudden was actually a long process of maturation. You were being prepared, not punished. You were being seasoned, not sidelined. That is why the essence you now display is not fragile, it's forged. The whispers that try to discredit you fail not because the world doesn't talk, but because truth has a way of outlasting gossip. Those who attempt to outshine you often end up dimming themselves. Authenticity does not compete. It endures. Let me make something intimate and clear. People are intimidated by you not because you made a show of yourself, but because you've been steady in places where many were inconsistent. You've worked in silence while others sought the applause. You've chosen excellence in the shadow while others chased validation in the light. When that quiet consistency begins to shimmer, it undermines the narratives of those who were building on performance. They can no longer control the story. They can no longer pretend they weren't aware. Your presence insists on honesty, and yet the irony is profound. Many want the fruit of your gift without paying the price of what produced it. They long for recognition and stage but do not desire the surrender, the discipline, or the inner work. They wish for applause and influence while avoiding the refining fires that accompanied your growth. But the universe does not hand this weight to just anyone. There was a reason you were hidden for seasons. There was purpose in your delays. The pauses in your life were not denials but preservations. Time given so that when the gift surfaced it would be stewarded, not squandered. So when you feel the tension in rooms, when you sense the unease in faces, remember this. It's not about them being against you. More often, it's about being exposed by you. Your light distinguishes what is authentic from what is performative. It separates those who have been building in faith from those building for applause. That revelation can shake people, but it is not your job to anesthetize them. Your job is to keep developing what has been entrusted to you. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not dim your voice because it unsettles someone else's comfortable illusions. Heaven did not put that fire in you to keep you safe in a corner. It put it in you to light paths, to burn falsehoods, to clear spaces where truth might take root. Your assignment is not to defend the gift against every critic or to spend your energy proving its legitimacy. Your assignment is to steward it, to refine it, to let it fulfill its purpose. Every moment you spend trying to justify your calling is a moment diverted from tending it. Understand also that resistance will come from surprising places. People you love might pull back. Competitors may become louder. Rumors may trail at your heels. But watch this. Time has a way of aligning with destiny. What seemed like a delay is often a preparation. What looked like a setback is often the soil needed for deeper roots. Those who contend against you will often be the same people who, in time, benefit from what you illuminate. Even those who resist you will be touched by the clarity you bring, sometimes without ever admitting where the benefit came from. I want to speak plainly about what you carry. It is not mere decoration. It is weaponry, not in the sense of harm, but in the sense of power that clears injustice, heals broken patterns, and instructs a new way forward. It bears instruction for others. It carries a blueprint for what is possible. Because it is authored in partnership with something beyond you, it cannot be predicted or contained by ordinary measures. People cannot forecast where your influence will extend next because you are moving in a map written by a hand larger than the anxious guesses of others. So walk with confidence rooted in humility. Own your gifts without arrogance. Let your life be the sermon. Let your actions be the explanation. Tend the inner life that makes the outer work possible. Keep returning to the place where you were first entrusted with this seed. Remember the moments when it felt small and secret, when all you had was a quiet faith and something inside that refused to sleep. Those still small beginnings are the source of the strength you now display. When you feel the stare, do not flinch. When you meet curiosity and discomfort, answer with the steady work of becoming more of who you are meant to be. When people try to label you or pigeonhole you, keep expanding. When they attempt to misunderstand, allow your life to show them differently over time. Resistance is a kind of test, but so is attention. Both refine the way you handle yourself when the lights are hot. Finally, remember this: your steps are not aimless. There is an order beneath the chaos. There is a sequence to your unfolding, a schedule to your influence, and a wisdom to the way the unveiling moves. You are not being exposed to spectacle but to purpose. Keep faith with the source that planted this gift in you. Keep responsibility for the way you steward it. Keep humility in your victories and persistence in your preparation. Feel that weight on your chest? That quiet heaviness tugging at your nights and making your dreams feel more alive than usual? That restless hum under your skin that makes you stand at the edge of something you can't quite name? It's not your imagination. It's a signal. Your gift is moving into a season of being noticed, and everything around you is adjusting to that truth. What you're experiencing now is the prelude, the atmosphere thickening because a rare light inside you is preparing to shine more openly. When that light stretches outward, people who once wrote you off will try to make sense of what they thought they already understood. They will replay memories and reread moments, searching for the origin of what they see, and they won't be satisfied with simple explanations. This is because what lives in you is not merely skill, charm, or hard work. It is a sacred rarity, something that precedes explanation. It is meant to be witnessed rather than dissected. So do not spend your energy arguing with those who feel threatened. 96,796. Do not dampen your clarity to make others more comfortable. Do not measure the worth of your gift by the fear it stirs in others. If your presence intimates them, it is only because it reflects the divine trust that delivered this gift into your keeping, and you are shouldering it with grace. When heaven bestows a rare endowment, it does so with purpose. It isn't intended to make you merely different. It's intended to be transformative. Your gift will not sow chaos. It will uproot stagnant patterns, alter atmospheres, and rewrite worn-out rules. As it grows, counterfeit structures and false comforts will tremble. Rooms that once felt cozy to deception will suddenly feel tight, because light has arrived to reveal what has been hidden. You will notice people averting their gaze, offering awkward compliments, or stepping back in silence. They are not reacting to your personhood alone. They are reacting to the authority within your gift. Light does not engage in debate with darkness. It reveals what the dark has been concealing, and often that revelation will not be met with honest confession. Instead, it shows up as sideways remarks, lukewarm endorsements, or polite distance. You will sense it as the pressure of eyes, the quiet hoping for your misstep so the world can feel safe again. But do not mistake their silence or their withdrawal as a judgment on you. Quite the opposite, their reaction is proof that something real and undeniable is present. If nothing were there, no tremor would follow. People are rarely unsettled by mediocrity. They are unsettled by the undeniable. Your life, the way you held on to truth when compromise looked easier, the patience you chose while others chased shortcuts, all of that now bears fruit. Where others valued comfort over conviction, you chose faithfulness. Where they rushed, you waited. Where they sought quick wins, you endured the refining fire. Now that the harvest is visible, it makes some uncomfortable simply because it mirrors what courage and obedience look like in human flesh. But here is an unshakable truth. No plot, gossip, or strategy can dismantle what was formed and proven in the furnace. Your gift has already been pressure-tested by trial and time. Heat does not nullify what heat has already forged. What was formed there will remain. Let that conviction be your shield when you sense schemes forming in hushed corners. Let it be the quiet anchor when whispers try to bargain your value down. This season is not only about visibility. It is about usefulness. The purpose of your gift is never to be a trophy under glass. It is meant to be released into the world to bring healing, to illuminate confusion, to be proof of a living God at work. There are people looking for what you carry without knowing that they are looking. For the broken, your gift will be balm. For the bewildered, it will be a map. For the hopeless, it will be evidence that redemption still moves in our midst. While envy crowds the sidelines, purpose is doing its holy work. So refuse to trade sacred oil for petty battles. Refuse to expend the fire inside you on feuds that only distract from your true task. Your assignment is not applause. It is transformation. While some will clamp their hearts and whisper against you, others will come forward, changed because your presence made a pathway for their healing. The voices that once tried to diminish you will, in time, be forced to reckon with what they could not stop. By then, their fear will be irrelevant to the lives being rebuilt around you. Protect what has been entrusted to you. Tend to it with devotion. Steward it with the same faithfulness that carried you through seasons of waiting and refining. Nurture the inner life that birthed this capacity. Pray, rest, study, practice, and make space for humility. The more you guard the source, the more potent the overflow will be when the time comes to pour it out. Remember, gifts that are preserved and cultivated become instruments, not for personal elevation alone, but for restoring and realigning others. And when the release finally arrives, when your gift unfurls and does the work it was made to do, nothing on earth will be able to contain it. Not criticism, not small-mindedness, not even well-crafted schemes. The force behind what you carry is greater than the fear around it. That is why people are unsettled now. Because deep down, they recognize an unstoppable trajectory in you. Walk through this season with steady confidence and tender mercy. Be uncompromising in your integrity and generous in your compassion. Let the clarity of your life be both a mirror and a sanctuary. Be willing to be misunderstood, knowing that misunderstanding is often the price paid when thresholds are crossed. But never mistake misunderstanding for failure.